All right, I've got one panel alignment issue that I'm going to try to take care of. That should be fairly simple. This door on this side is probably maybe a 1/16 to an 1/8 inch low. It's not much, but you can definitely tell it in the body line. It's off just a little. And down here, it's off a little bit. So that should take care of all of that. You can see it there. It's a little bit low. The other side over here is pretty much perfect, just straight through. And I'm looking at this right here. So I'm gonna go over and try to make the other side straight. I'll get you set up here in a second. All right, here's the tool I'm gonna be using. This is from Steck. I don't see a part number on it, but it's a door alignment tool. I've got it marked here so that I know what size this hex is, so I don't have to try sockets every time I try to use it. It's got a large and small on it. That'll go into the door latch. And then the other side, this will rest, this or this will rest on the striker on the car. Then I can turn this with a big breaker bar and lift the door up or down. So I'm gonna get this installed and just lift a little bit on the door. Be careful not to hit the paint with this thing, taking it off. All right, I'm just gonna hit the button to take it out of the latch here. See where we are. That's about halfway where it needs to be, and we'll do a little bit more. Just rock it up and down. I'll show you the end product. All right, that's got the door in the right place, but now the striker is a little bit too low, and as it goes in, it's pulling the door back down a little bit. So that maybe they aligned it and left it in the factory. So I'm gonna have to loosen this a little bit, just pick it up maybe a 1/16 of an inch or so to center it in that door latch. Okay, I've got the latch marked with tape so that I know exactly where it started, because I don't want to move the striker in any further towards the car or away from the car at all. I want to just want to move it up some. So I've got the outside edge of it marked so that I will not move it anywhere past the tape. I want it to keep it on the tape and just move it up. So I've got a piece on the bottom to mark where the original location was. Now I can see the difference between where it was and where I move it. So I can just lift it up and see how much I moved it away from the bottom piece of tape. Keep it touching the top piece of tape, bolt it back down. As soon as I'm done with all this, I can just lock it back down in position where I want to leave it. But I still have the original location if I want to go back to it and start over. All right, I've got a T45 bit here, Torx T45. And I've just got it loose enough to where I'm going to take my socket now. I could go get a hammer, but this is just handy. I'm going to just tap it up with this until I get about a 1/16 of an inch gap between the bottom of the striker and the piece of yellow tape at the bottom. Then I'll tighten it back down, try the door, just look through the latch visually here and see if it's centered. Then I can leave it there. Just got it snug. There's no reason to tighten it down yet until I know it's centered. Now the door's in the right place, but I want to make sure that I've got the latch and striker centered on each other. So I'm just looking down in between the door and the rear door here, just to see if it's centered up. I'll get a light and show you that. Okay, this is where I'm looking, right through the door, and I'm just looking at the same level, and down here at the level of the door latch, and just making sure that the striker is centered inside the latch, and it looks to be. I'll double check it, but from what I can see now, it's centered in there. So as long as it's where I want it to be, I'll go ahead and torque it down. I'll double check it and I'll show you the very top edge here in a minute and the other two body lines. All right, we're in business now. Got the top perfectly even along the top molding there. This body line matches up better now. And this one. Now the door actually was really close to the rocker down here to begin with. It's just the dimension of the door. It's just a little bit long here. But it was really close to touching the rocker before. So it's at least off the rocker further. You can see how the gap from the front to the back is fairly even until it gets back here, and this just sort of slopes down. But it was a lot closer to the rocker before, and I wanted to get it off of there. Everything's lining up good now. Just need to get my tape out of the jam. I actually did a real fine adjustment back down, just a fraction of a millimeter. And now it's good. So I'm going to torque it down and leave it like that. That's the only issue with the panel alignment that I found. Of course, it's got the typical hood defender ledge there. It's a little bit low. Hood's a little low here, but that's not really a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. But that was the one thing that I did notice alignment. Just got around to doing it. See you guys later.